Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to be bringing you this Aussie YouTube hop for the month of June. This month the theme is play, and we have this gorgeous little mood board for you to be inspired by. If you have a look there, we have got colors like blue, green, red, and yellow. We've got on the right hand side there, see that little strip of wood, so a little bit of wood to inspire you. And just the word play, and however you interpret this mood board is however you choose to play. So what I thought I would do is I had nothing in mind, and so what I wanted to do is just pull out a few of my favorite things. I've got my big Dina Wakley journal, so I've got lots of room to play. I've got book pages, which are some of my favorite things to use. I also have stamps, real stamps from Happy Mail that I've received, and so I'm going to play with those. I'm also using tissue paper to create texture, and I've also got some paints there on the left hand side, which I hope to use. Now, I have no idea what I'm doing. The whole point of this is to play, and so by starting off with your favorite things and just allowing yourself to enjoy the process, you might surprise yourself with the final product, which really surprised me. I didn't realize I was going to go in this direction until it just kind of happened, which is really so exciting, and it was quite a relaxing morning for me. So that's right, welcome. If you've never joined us before, welcome. This is the Aussie YouTube Hop. This is a group of ladies from Australia who have YouTube channels and who love art and want to inspire you to play along. I'm going to add a hashtag here, Aussie YouTube Hop. And if you choose to play along with us, please do tag us on Instagram. We also have a Facebook group where friends of Aussie YouTube Hops also share their creations, and you guys get to know us and we get to know you, and we create a little bit of a community on social media. So as you see here, all I'm doing is I'm just pasting the book pages down. I thought that it would be nice to have just a little bit of text peeking from underneath all the layers. And after I add the book pages, I'm also going to fill in the blank spots with the postage stamps. Part of the Aussie YouTube Hop is that we get together and we share our art. So what we have is a playlist of people who are participating. Not everybody participates every month, so we have a list, an order list, and so what I want you to do is click on my description box below and see the next person who is after me on the list. Click on that link and go to her page and check out her project, and I can't wait to see how everybody has interpreted the prompts this month. So check out her project, like and comment. That's the best thing. We love the engagement. And then once you're done with that, click on her description box and find the next person that you hop along to, and that way you hop along to all of us. And if you come back to me, that means that you have hopped along and seen everybody else's project. Thank you so much, you guys. We really love the engagement. We love the support, and we just love creating a really nice place to share art. So after the text is down and the stamps are down, and while the page is still wet, I'm going to peel off the tissue paper here and add a layer of the tissue paper. Now this is the layer that is not patterned. I keep the pattern paper for other projects. This is just, I just want a little bit of crinkly texture, and yeah, so that's what I'm doing here. I'm using PVA glue, and then I'm going to allow that to dry before I move on to the next step. So usually with tissue paper you have 3 layers: the pattern paper, the pattern tissue, and then 2 layers underneath. I'm just using the second layer here, and I decided that I was going to draw a heart. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it, draw half a heart, cut that out, and then make sure that it is about the same size as my page. And then when I unfold it, you should get 2 hearts from this. just like that. And so what I thought I would do is maybe put some hearts down. Now they seemed a little bit big, so I decided to trim one down just so that it was just a little bit smaller. So I thought, yeah, that looks good. That's a really good pattern. One big heart and one small heart. And I thought I would layer it in this formation. I thought I'd just give it a little bit of a crinkle so that it could give me more texture. And then I added them in this formation so that they were overlapping. So you're not going to see the overlap here, but I can see it because I've got the pencil mark. But it's funny how after I put it down, it just seemed to melt into the background, and it seemed like it wasn't enough texture. So I decided to pull out my structure paste and create hearts on top of that. So this is what I mean by play. Although you kind of have an idea, your idea doesn't work out, so you kind of have to troubleshoot. So I enjoyed making that first heart. And I thought, oh, it's going to be a little bit difficult overlaying a smaller heart on top. So I just decided to make a smaller heart to the side so they weren't touching. Okay, so after I was happy with that, I decided to give it a little bit of a dry. And here I go now with all the colors. So I'm using acrylic paint here. And I decide to go for a red heart. So the first thing I'm going to do is just give it an overall color of red just to see how it looks and where I'm going with this. So that looked really good. It kind of looked like really punchy. And so what I decided to do is just start adding a little bit of white so that I can add just a little bit of shading and give the heart some more dimension. So I'm going to go ahead and start doing that. This takes a little bit of a while because I kind of come back and forth until I'm quite happy with it, and this is part of the play session. I make it so that the light comes in from the right hand side, so the right hand side will be a little bit lighter and the left hand side will be a bit darker. So I decided to go just that little bit lighter all over, and then I went back with the dark red on the left hand side, and I went back with a little bit of white and a glint of white to show like a light spot. So now I'm just adding a little bit of water to water down my acrylic paints so that it's more like a glaze than about a thick plastic layer of paint. That way I also wanted the text in the background and the stamps to show, and I'm just adding a combination of these colors. The yellow looks really good against the red, and I'm coming in with the color green next. And I love that phthalo green. That phthalo green's amazing. It's like one of my favorite colors, yellow and green, and it sort of brings a little bit of a teal to it. Where they mix at the border there, and then when I add the blue, it's just a lovely continuation. So here is where my heart was singing while I was playing, and really enjoyed this session. I made the paint darker in some areas and lighter in others. You can see it more watery there against the left hand side and darker there on the right. And then I also went a little bit dark around the edges of the heart so that it shows a little bit of dimension. I then decided to do just a quick dry layer of white paint, just so that it knocks the color back a little bit and it's not so bright in your face. Adding more of the blue against the heart there, giving it just that little bit of deeper value. This is your intuitive part. This is where you play. I'm now reaching for some raw umber, and I'm just going to add a little bit of raw umber using a dry brush so that it picks up on the crinkle of the tissue paper. I love how this turned out. It looks like almost like vintage, like it's something that's been around for ages, but the heart is still red and raw and fresh and full of love, and I just love how this turned out. Really awesome. Just adjusting some of the color on the left hand side there. I'm adding a little bit more yellow. So next I decided to make it look like these two hearts were connected and like coming out of a root. And I love this little bit of black here. It kind of makes it look painterly. And I then also decided that I was going to outline around the hearts. And yeah, I don't know, I felt like I wanted to do this, and I love how it looked. So at this stage I was thinking big heart, little heart, like mama heart, kid heart, and I guess it really brought out the subconscious feelings that I was thinking about my kids, and how big my kids were getting, and what a responsibility it is just to have boys, and raising boys, and hoping that you've done right by them. So I remembered that I had this sheet of clear stickers by Kaisercraft. This is old, this is so old, and it's called Family. And I loved one of the quotes here, and it says, "Give the ones you love wings to fly, roots to come back, and reasons to stay." And I just totally love that. All about empowering my boys, and so and I hope that they love home so much that they always feel like they want to come back to stay. And on the big heart I put, "You may have outgrown my lap, but you will never outgrow my heart." And yeah, so I'm really glad for this play session, because it allowed me to recognize that I was thinking about how much the boys mean to me, and how much I want to do for them these days. So last of all was that panel on the mood board that showed some pine, and I reached for some of these Kaisercraft wood flourishes. I added 2 leaves on the hearts, and somehow they look like apples, and that really tickles me. It's so great. And so I put them on the top there, and then I've got this little saying here that says "Home Sweet Home" on a wood veneer, and I put that down with E6000. And yeah, so this play session ended up being about making my home a beautiful place for my boys to stay, and just recognizing the feelings that I had for my boys, and you know, really enjoyed this. Was very therapeutic. After this session we went out and had coffee and hot chocolate, and I just kind of yeah, marveled at how big my boys were getting and how proud I was of them. And that is why we art journal. We acknowledge our feelings, and we honor the people we love. So thank you so much for joining me, guys. Like I said earlier, don't forget to go down to my description box, see who's next on the hop order, and click on that link and go check out what she did using the mood board prompts. Thank you so much, everybody, and I'll see you in my next video.